Okay.
Dr. Szasz, I wanted to ask you something about your therapy, which is very well described in your book, The Ethics of Psychoanalysis. I wondered about the outcome. The sorts of people who are attracted to you must be concerned about autonomy and their ability, or their desired ability to contract rather than to be caught in status relationships. When they achieve that autonomy, I wondered how happy they are. I wondered how well they relate to other people. I've been influenced by self-psychology, and I have a belief that perhaps people can't be contented and happy unless they have a self-object. And to that extent, I have the impression that they're heteronymous and not autonomous. I wondered what you felt about the outcome of your therapy. How many of them were contented and happy?
Will you forgive me if I regress into humor? You are raising an issue which has nothing to do with my therapy. To wit, happiness. It's totally irrelevant. Totally irrelevant.
I think I appreciate that that's not one of the values that you espouse. What I wondered from your own experience with you, could tell me.
I can't tell you anything about my experience without either being too excessively modest or excessively immodest, and all I can tell you is that it would be the kind of anecdotal stuff which I think is worthless. I only have, for the last 25 years or so, I've only had a part-time practice, so we are talking about a handful of people. There are millions and billions of people out there struggling with life. I don't think it makes any difference at all whether I think most of those people are better off. Now, personally, I think virtually everyone who comes to see me benefits from the encounter, but let me tell you in what sense. In a sense which I analogize to education. Virtually any intelligent youngster interested in mathematics who goes to Caltech or MIT and spends a year or two there comes out knowing more mathematics. Now, I think virtually anyone who comes to see me and wants to make a serious inquiry, as Bettelheim said, about their own life and what's going on, is bound to benefit from that. I don't say how they cannot. The only question is how much. I don't see how they can be hurt, and I don't see how they wouldn't benefit. So it's 100% effective. Now, whether or not they are happier, you know, Socrates said, I'd rather be an unhappy philosopher than a happy cow. He is an even stupider word than mental health. Happiness is a bonus you get from life or from God if you have lived life correctly. And the more, it's exactly like a soap, a proverbial soap in the shower. When you are wet and the soap is round, the more harder you try to grab it, the more sure it will slip out of your hands. So when a parent says to his child today, all I want you to be happy, you can be sure they're making another mental patient.
Thank you.